On the film all about Canadian men's wheelchair basketball icon Bo Hedges, and Christine and Jesse are both here to talk about it. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. Jesse, I think this is the first time we've actually talked to you about this specifically, so I'm very glad you came by to talk to us. We'll start with you, of course, with Christine. I mean, you've been on this project for 7-something years now we're getting to.
Yep.
And it's finally kind of premiered, and it's basically finished form at tonight, isn't it?
Yes, due to Jesse. I'm very lucky that I met Jesse about 10 years ago. He was doing a film with Eagle Vision and was assigned to me for Bridging the Gap about teaching kids to massage seniors. And when I saw what Jesse did, it was like, that was very, very, very good. I mean, that is the quality of Eagle Vision, that very high production value, but that was because I was working with Jesse has a gift. And you've been doing film since you were little.
Yeah, since I was 13 years old.
Okay,
Right.
so this is not a new thing for you then,
No, it's
making films and whatnot. I mean, talk to me a bit about your involvement in this, right? You know, you get assigned, as Christine says. What did you know what this was going to be, and how did that evolve over time? Because, of course, I think originally this was going to be just covering kind of Bo's experiences in Tokyo.
Yep.
Which, of course, everything...
2-year project.
Yeah. Everything got bumped back because of the pandemic and all that sort of stuff. So talk a bit about your journey with us, if you could, Jesse.
Yeah, well, evolution is a great word for what it was, because I believe when we were first setting out to make this film, it was only going to be like 15 minutes long, with a much more modest budget.
Yeah.
And, you know, as time goes on and life evolves, things happen in Bo's life that, you know, we had to capture. There was the pandemic, of course, that threw, you know, a big wrench into our plans. We had to adapt around that. And then Bo just kept pushing his career on and on and on, a lot further than he and ourselves thought that it would go. And so it just lent to a lot of opportunity for capturing for this story to encapsulate what it takes to be not just a Paralympic athlete, but an athlete in general. And the fact that they come from Port St. John and a small cattle ranch outside is just, the two are very polarizing, and it's very interesting.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I think we talked about this last time, Christine, a bit. This is sort of could become kind of a showcase of the twilight, if we want to call that, of Bo's career, and about so much more than, as Jesse said, the sort of original intention was. I mean, this documentary is at least 3 times longer than that. At least the form I saw last year, when you had kind of a mostly complete form, but there's been stuff added to it since then, eh?
Well, even thinking, what's the ending? And then Bo was at the World Cup in Dubai. I thought that was incredibly well shot by the company there. And then they qualified for the Olympics. And thank God Jesse was willing to take it over the finish line. And we had a crew that was incredible. Because with Tokyo, there was no one allowed to shoot. And the 5 minutes I needed of CBC footage was $12,000 per minute. Thank God for an empty credit card, because Jesse and Lisa and I could shoot in that stadium of 12 to 20,000.
Wow.
And it was incredible having that many people singing ABBA in French. And the thing I loved about watching Bo, every time he would circle around and thank the crowd. It just makes me cry.
Yeah.
It was really exciting watching the leadership, and we've got the other members of the team too. We've got Reed from Edmonton that Jesse was filming.
Sort of, you mean taking part in the documentary as well? You got some talking
and
to,
being able to talk to them afterwards. Then we figured, great, that's great ending, and then Bo decided to move back here. It's like, okay,
we've got another ending.
We're doing an even better ending.
It's sort of like Lord of the Rings. You keep thinking it's going to end, but then there's just more to add, which is wonderful.
Bo keeps adding interest for sure. And just the strength of family, and that was the main theme, was not looking what he did just because of community.
Yeah.
And everyone, people like us that got into wheelchairs, and all his family and brothers and sisters and cousins that learned to play wheelchair basketball, but the family strength to bring Bo's family back here to grow up in Fort St. John is a real great message for us.
All right. Well, we don't have a lot of time already. I feel like we could talk about this forever. But tonight, the premiere is happening. We're going to see the film, but there's lots of other things happening as part of it, right? By the way, free to attend. You could just show up and attend. But tell us about the many things happening alongside sort of screening of the film itself.
We have a really big contest on Western attire.
Yeah. If you're watching the video, Christine's wearing a beautiful white Stetson or what have you, and cowboy boots as well. Pink cowboy boots.
And I can't get a prize. But we also have Paige Austin dubbing in with the emceeing and judging, and we have some great judges. Jeff is going to help us. He's not only RCMP, but he's been an Elvis impersonator, and he's going to make sure that we're singing it loud at the end.
Right.
The theme song is fantastic. We've changed it a few times to really make sure that Bo and his family approved of it. So, but we are sending out an electronic feedback, and people get a piece of paper to grade the film, what they liked, what they'd like to see more of. And that's what we did at the test screening.
Yeah.
And it really helped us. People said they wanted more action on the floor. We've got action. Do you want to just describe how you built that in Paris?
Oh, yeah. Well, in Paris, for the Olympics, they really limit the cameras that you're allowed to take in there.
Sure.
Nothing too fancy. So we had to go in with stripped down equipment, some vintage lenses, which gave a lot of character and whatnot. And yeah, we just kind of...
Every game.
Yeah, faked it till we made it, or well, not, I don't know, faked it till we made it, but we went incognito. We had to go in with very stripped down equipment to get it done, and the footage looks fantastic. The action is incredible. The sport is incredible. I was just happy to be there to be able to do it justice, I think.
Absolutely. It's going to be wonderful. Family friendly, of course.
Bring the kids.
Yeah, and you don't need to buy tickets. You can just show up. Again, it's free to attend. It's going to be a wonderful evening. One last thing. I've put on the Facebook post of this video and this interview we're recording now. You can get into it via Zoom link as well if you can't make it in person for whatever reason. So that's
and
also
I just
available to you.
need to say, Deb, that on the way, I got the phone call from Integra Tire to come and pick up the check, and I'd just like to thank all the supporters I'm gonna cry, in Fort St. John for helping with the financing and funding of the film. And we're hoping that we're going to cut it so that it has broadcast value, and we have people interested in that, so we're going to chase it down and put it on a circuit internationally.
All right. Awesome. Tonight, Dream Big, Fort St. John and beyond at the Lido, 7 p.m. You're going to want to check it out. Christine, thanks for being here. Jesse, thanks for being here. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Doug.
Looking for a new home?